And one of the things you're starting to touch on as well is looking at the relationships and looking at the partnerships you've already got, whether it is through, as you say, advertising on radio and working with us, or even into your new business that you've got now with the WOW app.
Yep.
Is tell us a little bit about how that started, because again, it's an element here of you're not sitting still.
No,
Definitely
not.
It's you looking at it going, okay, well, from a real estate point of view, it's slowing down, as everything has, but we've still got to keep that pushing. But hang on, here's another opportunity perhaps that we can start to do to help supplement what you might be losing from the real estate point of view.
So how that come about, we opened a division of Transparent Realty to do our own marketing, transparent marketing. And that was because all these systems that I just spoke about are there, but the real estate world didn't know about them.
Yeah.
So I started to start helping myself to help other real estate agents with their marketing, mediums that they don't know about, like the apps and the bots, chat bots, and do all that. So then the WOW apps part come in is because they're the app developer. They're our sister company to that. So it's the programs run under Transparent Marketing, but they're the app store, so to speak. So WOW apps is like a global spot to go there to download your other business apps.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
We found that niche out of pure need for me, with all the restaurants and bars and cafes closing, that we break into the niche of hospitality without even trying.
Yeah.
Because we all wanted to still keep eating takeaways, but your favourite restaurant wasn't offering a takeaway because they didn't have the system and the process to be able to offer takeaway.
And it was too late to start thinking about it.
And it was too late to think about it.
Yeah.
And it was too expensive because traditionally they're upping the thousands of dollars to get your own app on the phone, and then you've got to host it with Google and all the problems that went with it.
Yep.
And that's where our apps come in, where we can, for a hospitality venue, build it within 24 hours and customers are ordering immediately.
Yep.
We then had to adapt because there's already mediums in the market that do that.
Yep.
Okay, there's the ones that we all know, there's the Uber
and
Deliveroo,
marketing to businesses already.
already doing that. So then we had to adapt and change the costing function for the restaurants and bars.
Yep.
Again, this is where you keep talking about adapting and moving with the times quickly. We then thought, okay, well, they're losing big commissions to these big companies, so we did it for a small flat fee.
Yep.
Bringing back my purple bricks, flat back 3 days.
Yep.
Creating a new environment for the hospitality venue to start still making a profit. They could fire up the kitchens again, they can put a chef back to work, and they're fully fledged getting going again. And we can do that for them within 24 hours.
Mm-hmm. Have you got many signed up already?
Around 314.
Cool. Across the Sunshine Coast?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yep, starting from the ones like Noosa restaurants all the way down to Caloundra.
Starting from an idea in terms of what else can we do with the partners we have.
Exactly.
To now working that. And then probably now looking at it going, right, we probably need to gear up to start to focus on that as a separate business as well, using what you have. And I think that's one of the key things in terms of, and I know when we're working with different businesses, it's like, yes, we provide the radio, yes, we provide online, etc., but what else can we do from a partnership point of view? Because we all have contacts, we all have relationships, we all have, and one of the key things we know, particularly in this type of marketplace we are now, is we're all in it together. And we're all in it together from a perspective of understanding what your business is and what the limitations might be, but we want to get everyone through this as well. Which brings me to my next point in terms of, and again I know because I've been part of some of the conversations and ideas, is some of the creative thinking that businesses need to, particularly from an advertising and marketing perspective, to make sure that their messages are fresh, to make sure that their messages are creative in a way, or the different ideas that you can work with media to help get your business or the business name or the brand into the market. Take us through some of that thinking that you've been part of in the past.
Yeah, well, the thinking, my thought process on that is with any business, and again, real estate, now I've got the marketing arm.
Yeah.
When all this hit, you've got two options to go. And I looked at it as you said before, do you close the door? But not a lot of them have gone to that rationality.
Yeah.
They're there and they're thinking there's two options: cut costs or look at growth.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's what I looked at. So a lot of them in that sense are going, right, staff are off, I'm not going to run the air conditioning anymore, I'm not going to do the lights, and if that's where their focus is going to be, then that's all that's going to happen.
Yeah.
If they switch the focus over to go, how do I bring more revenue in to keep the lights running, and in this case, the radio ads going, then that is the step to keep more productivity, more production, more people through the door, more takeaway sales, whatever the business might be. That's the step I think that a lot of them just missed.
Yeah.
They just looked at how do we save all this money, rather than how do we get more money.
Which is understandable, because it hit pretty
scary,
hard, and it hit, and I know from our business perspective as well. Again, me stepping into a new role and managing all that, there's a lot of admin involved in having to just cope with what's going on.
Exactly.
So it's understandable, and particularly if you're the owner, you're the bloke out the front, you're the bloke behind the scenes doing the numbers and doing the accounting, and you're the delivery guy as well. So if you're everything, it's easy to understand, and again, to small businesses, how you could be immobilised in this, because it did hit so hard. But I think now is the opportune time to chat about that whole, righto, if you have gotten to this point in time where we are starting to see restrictions ease off a little bit, we are starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel, what do you need to be doing now? And how do you call in partners like us to actually help you accelerate through this? Give us some tips as to what you're thinking. Don't have to divulge all your secrets and strategies. But again, for some small businesses who are watching this going, okay, well, I get it, and you're right, I do need to start to ramp up and accelerate, but where do I start?
Initially, what is as I said, look at what you've got already paid for.
Yep.
Then we go for a 3-step add-on process. Make sure that what you've got in place is working.
Yep. Or at
To
least
its full ability, I'll have something in place.
Have something in place.
In place. But most people will have a Facebook page, they'll have a web page and that everyone's coming back to. Then step 2 for me, it would be to communicate, pick up the phone, ask the question, because what I've found already is all these people that I'm talking to, and excuse the pun, drop their pants very quickly on price points at the moment. Whereas if a person's mentality was, I can't do radio because, God, it's too expensive, I just can't afford it, I can't whatever, pick up the phone and ask the question. Because how do you know? How do you know what situation the radio station's in at the moment, and what deals they're going to offer right now to help you get through? Then step 3 is then just treat those customers and nurture that's come through the advertising, all these new processes, like a nugget of gold that you used to take for granted. 3-step process again, go back to the start, look at another option, advertise, get some customers, treat them like gold. That's it.
It's a really interesting point, because I not only yesterday had a conversation with someone in terms of, they were saying, well, why would we advertise now? And we went through all the reasons, and one of the things that hit home, it was like, because there's a drop-off in people who are. So in terms of the message you'll have running, it'll stand out a hell of a lot more. And it was almost like a light bulb went off in their head to go, well, you're right.
Well, I had one that we're working with yesterday. I won't name the business, but they're local to me, Mount Coolum. Once they realised that, okay, you're right, we've got to get the takeaways going, we've got to get that running again. I then said, advertising, we've got to get you out there, get known again, get on the radio. Oh, no, we can't, the age-old story, it's too expensive, it's blah, blah, blah. I go, mate, over the last 8 weeks when you haven't been at work, how many less coffees have you bought? How many less lunches have you bought yourself? How much have you actually physically saved over this period and not spent anything on yourself or your business? Just put that towards it.
And the key thing is for the now, is for when the customers start coming back next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because there are businesses now starting to ramp up. I've now done probably 7 or 8 of these types of conversations, and businesses aren't just really ramping up now, they're starting to really push hard. And their focus is June, July, August.
Exactly. And where do these, and I use the restaurants because that's what I'm currently working on so much, with their takeaways and deliveries, and we show them away for the cost of 1 meal a day is what it does, okay? eliminate staff members, eliminate that. So we're actually reducing costs while we're producing the revenue.
Yeah.
And the thought process there is 3 months, 6 months where you're saying,
Yeah.
will the population all just go back to going to their local pizza shop on a Friday night
Yeah.
or so forth? Or are they all comfortable at home now in their Ugg boots and sitting by the television and want to continue that process with the family? And
To
just
be honest
order
with
in?
you, probably a bit of both.
A bit of both.
Bit of both.
So how do you know?
Yeah.
But if you haven't put that system and process and be ready now,
You're
you
gonna
don't
miss
know.
it.
You're going to miss the boat.
Yeah.
So now's the time, as I said. Whatever advertising medium you
Yep.
think is best,
Yep.
and you know, I'm a fan of radio. People are a fan of Facebook and,
Yep.
and whatever. But start something. You know, the age old, you know, better than me. You know, if nothing changes, nothing changes.
Correct.
So sitting there with the sign on the door back in 6 weeks, it's not going to help.
Well, the only thing that possibly will change is
Is it'll still be like that in 6 weeks.
correct. Correct.